Hey everybody, welcome to a new video series that we're going to be having to go along with the readings. This is for an overview of the astrology that I'm going to be doing for each season. So we're going to start off with Gemini season and then we'll go from there every month with a overview and then key dates that you might want to write down and what's going to be going on with those dates and kind of the themes. So it's gonna be an intense month. Already just saying that now, right out the gate. There's a lot going on astrologically that's really important, and there's a lot more going on than what I've listed here. But these are like the big ones. So we have 3 retrogrades, a super blood moon eclipse, followed by a solar eclipse. Saturn, Uranus making a square. This is the second out of the three times this will happen for this year. Overall, this is a time for renewal, growth, change, and reflection. So going into the key dates, I have my notes here, lots of notes. So here we go. On the 20th, the sun entered into Gemini. So Gemini season officially started about 2 days ago now. And the next big thing will be tomorrow, the 23rd. Which will end on October 10th, which is Saturn Retrograde. The theme here is karmic love. So Saturn deals with karma and time. Retrogrades deal with karma. So it's kind of like a double dose of karma, if that makes sense. So if things were good in the past, you'll be rewarded. If not, then things will be taught in a form of a lesson. The thing is, because I've had people come to me about this before and they're confused and they're like, well, I had everything like lined up. I was good in the past. Like, what do you do? But things are still shitty now. Like, what's going on? The thing is, karma can be from past lives or handed down from ancestors as well. So if there's karma from those instances that haven't been resolved, unfortunately, that gets passed down to us, and it'll get passed down to the next generation if it doesn't get resolved now. So that's kind of the thing with that. So that's when you're getting these lessons during these retrogrades. It's very important to make sure that they are completed ASAP, so that way it's done like finito and the karma is cleared out. In terms of Saturn retrograde, expect things to slow down, extra responsibilities to be brought upon you, intention to rise. In terms of relationships, new romance could flourish in terms of a soulmate. Otherwise, relationships will allow for closer bonding. This is definitely a time of maturing. Other themes that could be coming up would be depression, lack of self-worth, loneliness. Whatever is lacking overall, Saturn retrograde will definitely highlight this, and you need to fix it before the universe fixes it for you. Let me tell you, as a Capricorn, whose ruling planet is Saturn, and the Saturn retrograde will be in Aquarius, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's going to be Aquarius the whole time this time. I don't think it's going to like go back and forth, but I think it's going to be just in Aquarius. I could be wrong though. But regardless though, as someone that has Saturn as your ruling planet, let me tell you, Saturn is like the father planet, we call it. And like Capricorn is known as, it's also called father time. That's like another reference for Saturn. Capricorns are also known as father or dad, and Cancers, which is the opposing sign from us, are known as mother, the mother sign. We are very rigid in terms of like, if you don't know something, it's like, oh, why didn't you know it? I told you once. That's it. Like, let's go. Come on. And Saturn's the same way. The exact same way. So it expects you to know the lesson the first time. And let me tell you, if you don't find it out now, the next time it goes retrograde, 6 months from now, so 6 months from October, you will have to endure the lesson yet again, and it's going to be twice as bad until you learn the lesson. So make sure that whatever is lacking, know that's going to get highlighted and know that you have to fix it. You have about 4 months to fix it. Actually, almost 5 months to fix it. Get her done. That's the best advice I can give you. Just get it done. Also, money, if money slows down during this time, to be expected. On the 26th, so about 4 days from now, we have a super blood full moon eclipse in Sagittarius. This is extra potent energy. So eclipses usually are very heightened energy. And if you're really in tune with the energy, you usually feel this 3 days before and 3 days after, so almost a full week. This time the energy is like extra electrified because it's a super blood moon, and it's a rare time. This is a rare eclipse because the last one we had was in January of 2019, where it was a super blood moon eclipse, and this eclipse cycle started last year in May of 2020. So things here are really coming full circle and coming to an end. So from May of 2020 to now, we are being asked to look and evaluate all of that. And it's a lot. It's a lot to talk about, so let's go over it. This is a time for a rebirth. So with Saturn going retrograde, we're looking at a year ago, like what did we do a year ago to now, what's been lacking. Pluto's retrograde, what don't we need anymore, we're looking at that. And then Mercury retrograde is going to be coming up 3 days later, which we'll talk about in a minute. So all of that is being asked to be looked at, and it's very like, it's all kind of like quick, right? It's quick but not quick. The thing is, so this rebirth is coming whether we want it or not, and it's beneficial, but that means that things have to get cut out, things have to go away. That being said, people are being exposed. I talked about this when I did the Taurus readings. People are being exposed at the end of the month. This is what I was talking about. Sudden changes will happen, but these changes are going to happen to allow us to grow and adapt to new things, so new wisdom can be explored and found. If you do not adhere to the changes, let me tell you, it will make life way more difficult than you want it to be. So make sure you are on top of these changes, in that you're not hesitating when they come. Know when they come and take that advice and move it forward. This is a darker energy, but there's also light and supportive energy to be explored here too. Eclipses tend to place us where we need to be, even if we don't want to be here, in order to elevate us and push us to the next step in our journey. And it's oftentimes we have to let go of something. In this case, since people are being exposed and things like that, it's to cut those people out of our life. Sagittarius rules over the higher mind and wisdom, also the bigger picture and a more expansive point of view. So instead of like looking at the little macro details, which is very kind of Saturn as well, like me, I'm very detail oriented, we're being asked to look at the bigger, broader picture here, and use the energy to see that bigger picture to expand your mindset. So wherever the arrows, right, because Sagittarius is a centaur, right, with the bow and arrow, so wherever you shot those arrows a year ago to now, right, they may not be where you wanted them to be, but that's okay. And you need to accept that that's okay, because they're where they need to be. And that's that. Like, they're there, and that's okay. It's perfectly fine. And don't worry about it. I've been telling a lot of you to meditate daily for 5 minutes a day. I've been slacking, so I need to make sure I'm on top of that for this Jupiter and Pisces moment, right? That started on the 13th and is going until July 28th. It's very key that, take that time to meditate, because it will definitely help. During this meditation for this eclipse, think over intentions and what you want to manifest by the solar eclipse on June 11th. Think about that. Secrets will be revealed that should allow for change and transformation. Like I was saying, during this time, speak from the heart with love. What do I mean by that? In other words, be genuine, be yourself, don't sugarcoat, you know, just say how it is, but speak from the heart. Like, don't be speaking with, not snake tongues or serpent tongues, but like basically don't be like trying to say one thing and then mean another, which is going to be very common with Mercury retrograde this time around, which we'll talk about that, and we'll definitely talk about it more during the readings. But make sure that what you're saying is genuine, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Do not speak from fear. If you speak from fear during this time, it is going to eat at you. It's going to set you back further than you need to be in your journey. And also people are going to feed on that, and it's just going to be an endless like roller coaster and snowball effect, to the point where they're going to feed on that and move themselves forward, and it's going to set you back. There will be some darker emotions coming to the surface almost suddenly, so kind of like almost like a snap of the fingers. The best thing to do is honor those emotions. So if you're feeling inadequate, depressed, wondering where you fucked up, wondering where you went wrong, why am I here? I should have been here. Like any of that. This is normal. Do not freak out. Just accept it, reflect, keep it moving. If you're overwhelmed, give yourself some space and have some sort of self-care unit, or like not unit, but self-care moments until the eclipse is over. And like I was saying, there's just 3 days before and 3 days after. But just note that this eclipse moment is going from really the 26th to June 11th, because we have that solar eclipse. There may also be an increase in extreme weather and an amplifying on the global issues. We've already seen that happen right now with the things that are happening in the world right now. And unfortunately, things will just, there's going to be some extra heightening on that. So if you're watching the news a lot, I recommend pulling back, or just altogether like pull out and be just informed where you can, but don't get overwhelmed and sucked in, because it is a lot. Now, darkness is an expression of the feminine energy, and we shouldn't be feared by it, because it's emotions, you know? And in darkness, we can dream of a brighter and better future for everybody. And so it's where we take these emotions now, and how do we elevate them to the next step to move, like to learn from it and then move on. All right. May 29th until June 22nd, we have Mercury retrograde in Gemini. It's the usual bullshit. For those of you that are new to this astrology stuff, welcome. Hi, Mercury retrograde. It's a fun time. No contracts, no travel. Miscommunications are very common. Double check everything. Think before you say. There's technology issues. All of that will get stirred up. In Gemini, which is the communication sign, and Mercury is Gemini's ruling planet. Also, if you're Virgos, or if you know any Virgos, are also ruled by Mercury. They'll also be affected by this as well. You might already be starting to feel it, like this miscommunication, you know, and things like that. It's common, but it's going to be really intensified this time around because it's in Gemini. So anything that you would be able to communicate normally is just going to be extra, like, thrown apart. People are going to, you think you're helping people out, and then they think you're being, you know, they think you're not helping at all. You're trying to be nice, they think you're being mean. You know, it's just like whatever you think you're doing, it's the opposite. So just know that for this about a month time, these next like 3 weeks or so, whatever is being said is going to be taken the opposite. So just be careful and make sure that you are very clear with what you say. Follow up as needed, but don't be aggressive about it. Social media break, great idea. Not reading the news altogether, great idea. Retreating, reflecting, continue the meditations, all of that, good stuff. During retrogrades, especially Mercury, anything that's with So like reaffirm plans, reflect, review, don't start anything new. So anything like that, good stuff. The post-shadow phase, so there's a pre-shadow phase and a post-shadow phase. So what that means is there's lingering effects before and after. So and usually it's about 2 to 3 weeks before it ends and after it ends. You can start to kind of pick up on it. If you're in tune with the energy, in tune with yourself, you'll start to see these things kind of rolling about, and they affect everyone differently. Some people are really in tune with it and they can pick up on it like right away, and it's, and it drains them. You need to be cautious with your energy and make sure that you're not draining yourself, that you're taking time for yourself, that the self-care is happening. Please, especially this month with so much going on, self-care is very key. Please and thank you. But the post-shadow phase ends July 7th. So if you're holding out on it and travel, contracts, any of that, you're good from June 23rd onward, but no, from June 23rd to July 7th, there is still that chance for these things to act up. June 2nd, we have Venus moving out of Gemini into Cancer. During this time, things will become more sensitive, we're more connected to truer feelings, we're making peace with what comes up, which is good because there's a lot that's going to be stirred up. And you want to follow the feelings that are most supportive to you. So by this point, with the eclipse, the first eclipse happening, the full moon, that should have led us to be able to cut out these toxic behaviors, these toxic people, the people that are being exposed, all that's gone, right? And now we have the people that are really in our circle, and you want to follow those people and what they're telling you, because they're going to be the ones that are going to be supportive. On June 10th, we have the new moon solar eclipse in Gemini. And what this does is this opens a doorway to elevate our consciousness. And at the time, things might not make any sense. You might just be like, what the hell is going on? That's normal. Just know that opportunities are on the way, and it's a time to shift into that more expansive thinking, so bigger picture, right? Rather than fear-based or limited thinking. So being like, I can't do this, I can never do that. No, we're thinking like long-term goals. We're asking to reevaluate those long-term goals, especially with all the retrogrades happening, is very key to make sure that you do this, because otherwise it's going to set you back for like the next year, and we don't want that. Power of the mind is really key here. Do not let the bad thoughts and the negativity, the inadequacy, any of that get to you. Rely on your circle to be able to push you forward if you're having trouble. One day after, on June 11th, we have Mars moving from Cancer into Leo. This is a great time for increased passion and romance, adventures increase, we want to move around, creativity's picking up, active energy, we get a boost of motivation here. Mars is loves fire signs, it's Aries ruling sign, so we get a lot of that extra fire oomph. On June 14th, we have the Saturn squaring Uranus. The first time this happened was on February 17th. So, this is the second one of the year that's going to happen, like I was saying, and we're being guided to be more reflective this time rather than active. So the first time in February, we're asked to be more active and like let's go, make these changes happen. Now it's more like reflection, which makes sense because of the retrogrades. So the overarching thing here is revolution, change to tradition, and breaking down of the old. So things that aren't working anymore, they gotta go. Things that are traditional, or things that you hold are traditional, are being asked to be changed. On a personal level, there might be some desires to innovate, find new roads to travel down, needing to change to get where or what we want to be at, shifts happening. We're more curious, we're open-minded, and overall there's this focus on destiny. Like I was telling you, with the lunar eclipse, that really, besides the exposure, it's the beginning of fulfilling your destiny. And a few days later with this happening, that starts to kind of come into picture. June 20th, we have Jupiter going retrograde. And overall, again, we're slowing down, we're pausing, we're reflecting. And failure to do so will result in a much, much more difficult time. At this point, so by June 20th, we have Pluto retrograde, Saturn retrograde, Mercury retrograde, Jupiter retrograde. There are 4 planets in retrograde. Things are going to move like they're moving at a snail's pace. It's doing this on purpose because we're being asked to reflect. And you need to reflect. You need to get into those emotions, get into those thoughts, get into your bag. Nobody wants to, but you have to. And really be like, okay, what's going on? And there's going to be more things around innovation and being creative as well during the retrograde. For some reason, I didn't have on my notes when Jupiter retrograde ends, but I'm pretty sure it's September, I'm pretty sure. And then around that time as well, the 20th, 21st is the summer solstice, and we have the sun moving into Cancer. So that's when I'll be doing the Cancer readings. We'll be starting that on June 20th, and that's when I'll have this video up. So that is everything that is going on for Gemini season. It's a lot, but I wanted to get this out because what I was doing was I was covering all of this in all the readings that I was doing for you guys. So I figured I'd do one big video. That way you have all the key dates, and in case you figure out something that happened in the reading, you can look back at this and be like, okay, wait, what's happening? Why am I feeling like this? Oh, this is why. Okay, cool. I'll put down these key dates in the description of the video. Just with what's going on. I'm not gonna put all the thing, like everything we talked about here. Please just watch the video for that. The next thing that will be coming out, I'm starting the readings tonight, so expect those soon. And then the next thing that is happening will be a breakdown of sign by sign. So there'll be an overall kind of quick snapshot, quick few nuggets, and then we're going to look at relationships, finances, education, family. I think I said relationships, travel, business, any of that kind of stuff. And we'll just get quick little nuggets on each of those things for each sign. So if you're cross-watching for other signs or you're looking for yourself, boom, there you go. Alrighty, I will see you guys in the readings and in that video. Leave a comment just so I know if you like this, if it's something you want me to do, if there's something I should add. Any questions, let me know. And I will see you all soon. Bye.